check, 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 check. Remember when we used to go to concerts and the roadie would come out? Check, check, check.
I love that.
1, 2. And you're like, oh my God, it's almost time. Then you hear the thump, 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 thump.
Yeah.
When they would check the drums, you're like, oh my God, it's almost time.
It's so exciting.
It's not like that anymore.
I know.
Now when you go to concerts, everybody's sitting down. And it's like,
we're old.
No, it's just, even when you go to a rock concert, Foo Fighters, chairs all the way to the stage. I'm like, this is lame. Why?
They're old.
I don't know if the Foo Fighters are ever coming back. I'm so sad about that.
Because their drummer died?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
He had a lot of stuff in him.
Yeah, well, shit. I mean, again,
He was just a user. And
people. I know.
Relapses.
You know what? Me and my friend were talking about this the other day, and I'm like, I'm so glad I'm alive. I am. And she's like, same, girl. Because she's just like me. We both have a very similar past. And so,
my meth days.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I
totally.
know.
We're like, how the hell did we get away with it? I don't know. But I'm so glad that we did, and we're still here.
Honestly, Stephanie, you with your dabbling and me with my incredibly unsafe choices with strange men.
Same.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Do it.
Daryl always plays drums when this comes on. He's all,
Stop it.
he's so proud of himself that he picked out this music.
Well, it's pretty good.
It is good. Welcome to The Ugly Truth. This is episode 573.
Lord.
Happy Memorial Day weekend, everyone.
Oh, indeed. 4 days. Oh.
Initially, we weren't going to do a show, but I thought, you know what? What if you're sitting somewhere drinking a scotch and soda
And honestly,
or whatever,
you can listen to
a beer,
That's the
a White
lovely
Claw.
thing about podcasts.
Oh, you can catch them all up into I have 4
Anytime
days.
you want to, you can sit there and listen to it.
I know people who save up like 8 of them.
Yeah.
And then they'll go, well, I've saved up 8 of your episodes and I'm just going to drive and binge listen. I'm
And
like,
that's great.
Thank you. I love that
What
so
if you're
much.
going to LA or something and that's the most boring trip ever? Well, I shouldn't say
worst.
that because not everybody's from California.
If you're in California, it's a boring trip.
Yeah, it's literally 600 miles of nothing.
It's legitimately the worst. And you
It's
know what?
horrible.
It always gives me a little anxiety right before I hit Bakersfield because that's when it's really
Bakersfield?
Yes.
Do you know what movie I'm talking about?
Castaway.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
I love that. It's like he forgot to talk.
Yeah, Bakersfield?
It's like he
But only
forgot to
Tom Hanks
speak.
can. God, he's
I know.
brilliant.
He's so good, right?
Did you see him on the balcony with his son at the Mets game the other day?
No.
They were legit like normal people moment.
Aw.
Like somebody had a long camera
and they were just watching.
and they were just watching and they were literally shouting at the top of their lungs singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game"
Oh, how
with his
fun.
child. It was adorable.
Oh, that's nice.
It's all over social media. You'll have to check it out.
I will check it out. I know they're big baseball fans.
They are, and it's the cutest thing ever.
Oh, that's nice. So there was something I was going to tell you a while ago and I totally forgot about it. And it's only because it happened. I've realized that when I'm on my second or third glass of wine on a tight day when I'm tying one on, there's a 50-50 I'm going to start crying.
Oh,
And I never knew I was
that's totally normal.
I never knew I was that person because I can have several cocktails
Oh, yeah.
of anything else.
Oh,
and,
well.
and I don't cry.
See, I do. That's
Only
how I
wine.
know I'm buzzed. Oh, just wine.
Yeah.
No, me, it's alcohol in general. Because if I'm watching something that I've seen 1,000 times and I've had a drink or two, I will start crying. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh God, you idiot! You're buzzed. Stop crying.
You know, and I hate it because it's always when Daryl and I are talking about something, and I'm like, well, anyway, I just feel like. Or what's worse is I'll be trying to tell him a story
Daryl.
about something, and I'll be like, so anyway, he can always tell.
He's like, oh God, here we go.
Because I get really silent, and I go,
Because you're trying to suck it up.
well, because I'm like, so I was watching this TikTok the other day. And he goes, yeah, and I go,
then
it
you're
was
like-
really interesting. And I go, so this
I breathe. I'm
this dad, oh, yeah, I don't do that. I go, so this dad and his daughter, da da da, and I go, and he's like, and I go, will you stay here? So dumb. I'm like, God damn it, it was that third glass of wine.
I do this to Veronica. Bless her heart. She's gotten used to it. It's only when we talk about something like really horrible. Because at our job, you never know. It could literally be something
Oh,
terrible.
yeah.
And so, yeah. Or if I've been like, it's random.
I hate it, but when
She's sweet. You know what I love about her? She just lets me do it. She doesn't even like, you know how you have sometimes a friend or another when they'll start crying too?
Yeah.
Like you both, she never does that.
You know-
she stays stoic and I appreciate it.
That is really nice.
Because it brings me right back, girl.
God, that's great. Because, you know, when I start crying, Mackenzie immediately starts crying.
Yeah, see what I
But
mean?
when I start crying in front of Malia or Tyler, they're like, what are you doing? This is so awkward. Mom.
yeah.
They're like, are you all right? I'm like, I'm fine.
She lets me do it. God bless her. And she doesn't even react at all. She'll be like, girl, I get it.
Sometimes what I do, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, she does.
What I do sometimes is I will gauge my hormone levels.
Yeah.
I will watch, like the other day, I watched the scene from Terms of no, Steel Magnolias.
Oh God,
where they're at the cemetery and Sally Field's doing her famous thing, and she's like, "Why?
The thing we would all do if you lost a child.
I can't take this. I can't take this." And when she does that, I can legitimately feel it in my chest because I know that's how I feel. Like I can't live. I cannot live. So I'll watch it, and I'm like, if I'm emotionally affected or am I just like whatever? I watched it the other day, and I just started weeping, and I'm like, okay. Oh, you know what? I hate to call it this anymore because I feel like it's an old term, but I saw my first Karen incident.
Oh, I love. In real life?
In real life.
Oh, excellent.
Daryl and I were like, oh my God,
Did you finally pull out your phone?
No, I didn't because it was kind of a quickie.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I would have sent it to you if I could have, but I didn't. We were dropping something off at
People
UPS.
have some big balls who do that shit.
I would be afraid.
Who sit there with the freaking camera in your face while you're having a moment. Yeah, I couldn't do it either.
Well, first of all, I'd be physical. I'd be punching them in the face. So I wouldn't have time to record.
I'm not that confrontational.
No,
like,
but
I don't want to be in the middle of...
Oh, no. If it wasn't my confrontation, no. I'd just be watching from a distance.
But I mean, I've seen people with their cameras are like, you look like an idiot. You know that,
never,
right?
Oh my God, never. No.
It's like, okay, no,
I'm not into that. But anyway, but we witnessed it. So we were at UPS and we were dropping something off and we were getting ready to back out. This woman was sitting in her little tiny Prius or whatever, and she had kind of the door open. She was just like chilling. She was just chilling.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's not a really good place to chill, but if that's what you're gonna do, fine, with your door open, all that shit. Anyway, so this truck backed up, nowhere near her, but backed up to leave. And she's like, hey, what the fuck? Look at your blah, blah, blah. The Toyota's like, excuse me, ma'am? And he's like he had the weird looking like face. Like,
are you really going to be a Karen right this moment?
Yeah. And she's like, God. And she's doing the flailing of the arms. She had
my God.
She had the bob with the ill-fitting polo shirt. And I'm just like, holy shit. I can't believe it. All right. So I'm watching it and I go, whoa. And so I'm like, so what is the Toyota? The Toyota does what we all would have done in this scenario. He backs up even more. Because he's nowhere near her car.
Right.
And she's like, ah, and she's just like losing it. He's like, so he leaves. He's like, fuck you, Karen. And he drove off and I go, and she's just standing in the middle of the parking lot with her arms up in the air.
A gaff.
Just audacity. The audacity. And I was just like, oh my God, this is what happens. This is how we behave. If he had bumped her or something, I could see a little bit of an outrage, but I mean, he wasn't even near. And I was like, oh my Lord.
I love it.
I love it too. And I'm like, wow.
I have found myself laughing at more scenarios like that more now. I think that's one of the very few things I like about being a little bit older.
Yeah.
Things that used to like tick me off or like make me really mad. Now I laugh. I'm like, oh my God, that is so funny.
Okay, well, I talked about it briefly on the show a couple weeks ago with Daryl, but I want to tell you the story because I want to know how you would have responded and how I responded. Okay. So Daryl took me to this really nice dinner. It was a 12-course meal. We were sitting at the chef's counter. It was amazing. And this chef apparently is up and coming. Mm-hmm. I did not know this. I'm not a fangirl when it comes to chefs. So, I mean, maybe I
am Michael Voltaggio. I love you.
I know. And he's adorable.
Marry me.
He is adorable.
Even though you're young enough to be my son.
Is he that young?
Yeah.
Anyway, so the chef has a private, so we're at the counter and directly behind me is a wall, but there's also a table there for two. And when he has a special guest come, that's where they sit.
Oh, nice.
So they get one-on-one service. They get,
wonderful.
Whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's
VIP.
Great. Basically.
Yeah, sweet.
So this person comes in with this woman and they sit down. He goes, hey, welcome, come on in. He goes, when you call and we're booked, I can do this for people who are very important to me. Please take a seat, enjoy the show because they do a whole service. And he's like, yeah, thanks. So it is clear to me this man is hammered.
Oh, no.
And he's obnoxious.
Oh, no.
And he's sitting directly behind me.
No.
And here's what I hate. He's really rich, which is fine.
Obviously, or he would have been there.
He's really wealthy.
He's affluent of some.
We deduced that he was probably an investor of the restaurants because this chef has multiple restaurants,
right?
And so I'm like, oh well, maybe he's an investor or something because they acted like they definitely. I mean, he definitely knew him, and the chef was being extra.
Like it was his boss.
Kind of, even though it's not. Anyway, so
well, it kind of is.
Well, I mean, if he got his money back, he's not. Now he's just someone he knows.
Yeah, but you don't know. Well, I mean, for all you know, he could have. Yeah.
But this guy's a Bay Area guy. He made sure that we all knew that he had planes and that he can fly them and send planes to fetch people.
And we don't give a fuck.
No one cares.
You douchebag.
But he kept going on and on. He goes, hey, what are you guys doing on June 1st? You want to come and we'll go.
Money.
Have you ever heard of this vineyard? And he was like 65. And he goes, you ever heard of this venue? He goes, yeah, I think I've heard. He goes, well, it's a small venue. Have you heard of this restaurant? And I'm going to say the restaurant just because he said it so many times. It's Manresa. I've heard of Manresa, but I don't know much about it. I've heard about it because we're Northern California. I've heard it. He's like, hey, have you ever been to Manresa? He goes, yeah, that's a great restaurant. He goes, well, we'll go there. We'll have some lunch. We'll go to the concert. Do you like ZZ Top? And he's just making these plans.
Who's he talking to?
The chef.
Oh, okay.
So he's making all these plans over us. And I turned to Daryl. I turned to Daryl and I go, that guy's hammered. He goes, you think? I go, 100%. Yeah. He goes, oh, okay.
Was he slurring?
A little. But he was also being very loud and he kept repeating himself. He goes, well, what about ZZ Top? Do you like Manresa? And he said it like 5 times.
You're like, he likes Manresa.
So I turned and the chef is like, I do. Thank you so much for inviting me. Yes, let's do it. He goes, well, I'll send a plane for you. You can come out, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, excellent. And he goes, I've got it on the calendar. I'll do it. And he goes, but you like Manresa and ZZ Top, right? He kept asking it. I turned to Daryl and I said, I fucking hate this guy.
Right. He's ruining my experience.
And I said it loud. And I said, fucking hate this guy. Started laughing, kind of like, whatever. Well, the chef probably heard me. The guy behind me did not.
Well, he was oblivious to it.
He doesn't give a shit about anybody else.
Yeah.
But his girlfriend did. So she's like, I'm going to start giving you some gummies. So she started giving him.
Yeah, sedate him.
She did.
Good girl.
So then every time a meal would come out, he'd be like, this is the best thing I've ever put in my mouth in my life, chef. Thank you so much.
And I'm like, God, I hate people like this.
So at one point, I turned to Daryl and I said, one more outburst. And I'm going to turn around and get out of this chair and walk up to him and say, you want my fucking seat? Because I'm tired of you yelling in my ear.
Right.
And I go, and if he takes me up on the offer, because I know he will, because he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to demand my fucking money back and say, keep your investors in line, asshole. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because there are 12 people sitting here who paid a lot of money.
Yes.
A lot of money.
And we don't want to hear this obnoxious prick.
Every single one of
us.
Every single one of us got the alcohol. You got the wine pairing. All of us got the extra caviar.
Because if you go to a place like that, you're not worrying about the bill.
No. And you have to you got to pay before you go. So it's a la French Laundry. So it's like.
Wait, what do you mean?
When you make your reservation, you pay for it.
Oh, before you even come. Oh, yes. Okay.
Well, because they have to pay. You have to buy all the food.
No, I get it.
Yeah. Because it's a very small
I get it.
service.
I just was confused. Yeah.
Right. And this guy probably didn't pay either.
No.
Right?
He just plopped in last minute.
And so I'm just like, motherfucker. And Daryl's like, I know you want to do that. And I go, I'm going to fucking do it.
He's like, please don't.
Now, would you have been as patient? I was only this patient. You know why? Because Daryl was getting anxious. Because he knew that I had lost it.
Well, here's the thing. The difference between me and you is that my husband would not be able to maintain the same way Daryl did.
He would have been like, if
I lost my shit. No. No.
He would have turned on you?
He could have.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it's not 100%.
Yeah.
But he may very well have gotten up good to go to the bathroom and never came back. Something like that.
He would have left you?
Oh, potentially. I'm saying it's like a gamble. It's literally a 50-50.
He's like, I don't want to fight anyone tonight, Stephanie.
Either that or he may just sit there and take it. Very much so. I never know.
You never know. Well, it depends on how obnoxious the guy was, I assume.
But I mean,
it was pretty bad.
I'm pretty sure I would have done exactly what you did because that's so me.
But I will tell you, after that, the chef did approach him quietly and they worked out their shit and he didn't say anything else until the food started coming. So something changed.
Well, maybe he said, one of the tables was complaining.
Loudly.
Yeah.
And then he, at some point he goes, well, my girlfriend is from here. I'm not from here. And the girl's just sitting there like, and I'm like, I hate you so much. I hate people like you so much.
Oh my God. I hate people like him.
I don't care if you're a fucking billionaire, Jeff
I don't
Bezos.
give a shit.
You're an asshole.
Thank you.
You're a drunk
As a matter
asshole.
of the fact that you're rich actually makes you worse.
Makes it worse.
Yeah, because you have no class.
I would have turned around and said, you know how you know when you're really rich? Because no one knows.
Thank you.
That's why, Dick.
Yes.
That's what I really wanted to say.
Yes, queen.
But no, I didn't.
I'm really glad that he shut the fuck up after eventually.
Yeah, he got high, I think is what happened.
Oh, good.
So
because if I would have been very angry about that.
And the thing is, it's like, I would have been, because I would have left. And I would have felt bad, and Daryl would have been devastated. And I always try to keep him in mind when I behave poorly.
This is what I mean when I say with me, you never know.
Yeah.
Because we're so next level that, and that's why I know Daryl would endure anything, all the things, no matter what you did.
Well,
Jerry, not so much.
He'd be like, please, I just want to have my
It just
dinner.
depends. It really depends. Yeah. And not only that, but it would either be one, he couldn't deal with whatever it was that I was doing, or two, he might try to chime in and make things much worse.
Ooh.
Because you have to be able to pull off what you're doing. You have to be able to you cannot be dumb. You cannot sound dumb.
You can't lose your temper.
You can't
to
sound
the point where you're not making sense.
Don't stutter or start saying stupid shit, and make yourself look like a piece of trash, right?
Yes.
So Jerry I'm sorry.
Your husband.
Yes, my husband, but I'm literally publicly declaring this.
It's all right.
I don't have 100% faith that he could pull that off so easily.
Yes. Although he does like to make friends.
Yeah, but I mean, when he gets hostile, something like that would piss him off.
Okay, good. I mean, I'm glad to hear that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he would not. But generally speaking, when it comes to something like that, he will follow my lead and he will not say anything and whatever. Hey, if I get up and start walking out, he's right behind me,
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like, okay, all right.
I guess we're leaving.
Yeah, the last thing he's going to do is poke a bear that's already, got their claws out. He's not going to do it. He's not that dumb.
Daryl told me that my love felt like a warm hug with pokes.
We're like porcupines.
He's like, you're like a warm hug with pokes. And I'm like,
we're jellyfish. We're soft and squishy, but we'll sting you to death.
And you have to pee on yourself. That's what's going to happen to you. Right. God. All right. I have some awkward moments. Ugly and awkward moments. They're random, and I thought they'd be funny. And maybe we can think of I'm going to tell you something. I'm kind of recapping the show I did with Daryl because I wanted to tell you all the things I told him. I don't give a shit.
Okay. Your listeners are like, well, we do.
No.
We already heard this.
Different perspectives. Anyway, okay, here's the first one. And this one made me think of us because it's something that I don't know if it would have happened, but
it could.
I threw up on my sister's eye.
Oh, my God.
I had chugged a Pepsi and my sister was laying down on her bed. I leaned over getting ready to burp the biggest burp of all time
and guess
in
what?
her face. She looks up at me and I get ready to release the belch from hell and I accidentally threw up Pepsi instead.
I'd kill.
She ran to the bathroom screaming, you threw up in my eye! It burns! She goes, a decade later, we still laugh about it. And I'm like, I don't know if we ever did anything like that.
No, not with vomit.
One time I was reading.
Did you see my TikTok? The guy that was telling the story about how he was going to go fart on his brother and a poo pebble flew out and hit his brother in the arm.
It's the same thing.
Same thing. The reason why I thought that was so funny is because as he's telling the story, he's reliving it in his mind.
He cannot stop laughing.
And he can't stop. And I'm like, that is me. We do this all the time.
First of all, how did he projectile a poo pebble?
I mean, because first of all, he's a boy. Second of all, he said he bent over and pulled his cheeks apart,
and then farted, and it flew out of his mouth.
It was a pebble and hit his brother. And to this day, that's probably one of their funniest stories ever.
I mean, he's like a poop pebble.
He's like, you pooped up my arm.
Thank God. Thank God it wasn't something else.
Well, like his mouth was open or something. It could happen. It could happen.
I think my mouth is watering.
Speaking of throwing up, I was watching my poor son sound asleep, and I am cackling like a freaking witch in the room at like 6:30 because I'm watching TikToks of people. You know that ride slingshot?
Yes.
Oh my God, Jamie.
There are so many good ones.
And people, it started out on people who pass out.
Those are scary.
Well, I mean,
but they're funny.
But the person who's not passed out,
they're laughing.
They are hysterical. Like, oh my God, you freaking passed out. Like, it's so funny.
I know.
Okay, and then that morphed into people throwing up on rides.
I've never seen it.
Oh, Jamie, I had to stop. That's when there was no laughter coming out of me. It was like, ooh, ooh.
I'm gonna have to watch
Jerry
it.
comes in, he's like, what in the hell? I'm like, I can't talk right now. I was like literally trying not to puke.
I've never seen the throw up ones. I'll have to look it up.
I knew she was going to do it because she was holding her mouth and she was doing that like heave thing.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, no, she's not going to throw up. She is not going to. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. She's like, bleh.
You know what?
I was like, ah.
I saw a video. Okay. And I was, first of all, I was already disgusted because this gentleman was large. Okay. It was at a baseball game. And it was somebody was videoing him.
Blueberry pies.
He was hammered.
Oh, okay. He deserved whatever he got. Unless he puked on someone else.
He was leaning back. He had his hat down, covering his eyes.
Oh, I've seen this one. Is this the guy that? Okay.
He just proceeded to continuously vomit on himself.
Over,
and it was like a river.
It was so
of beer and puke. And I'm like, and no one was sitting around him.
No, and it was
like
doing
everybody
it like quietly.
And he was just sitting there doing it over and over again. I'm like, what is he doing? Why is he He has completely lost every faculty, and he's just gonna
literally
sit here.
He probably shit and pissed himself too.
Honestly, I gotta tell you, if that was my husband, I would divorce him.
I would die, Jamie.
I'd be like, I'm leaving you, and I would walk out.
Like, you are so repulsive.
You're disgusting.
Yeah,
you're disgusting to me.
I mean,
that's awful.
Yeah,
in public.
You know what's funny? As I think whenever Jerry or I have gotten like super intoxicated, it's always one of those things where all of a sudden you have a moment and you're in public, right? All of a sudden you're like, I'm so fucked up.
Oh yeah, I've had that.
I can't be here for one more minute.
That's happened.
And I literally can't even tell anyone. I just need to leave. Like, I can't even express to you that I'm that fucked up.
That always happens to me.
And it's happened to me with Jerry like once or twice.
Yeah.
And the first time it happened, I was so goddamn offended. I was so furious because I didn't know.
Okay.
I literally had no idea that he was to that point.
Yes.
And I was just angry.
Like, we were having fun.
It was a concert.
Oh no.
But it was at a resort. So we had a room.
So you had to walk back to the room.
Well, no, they had a shuttle.
Oh, that's
But it was confusing because he went to go to the bar to get a drink or to the bathroom, one of the two.
And then he came back and he goes, I have to leave.
He never came back.
Oh no.
So I literally was sitting there to the point to where it got awkward. I'm like, okay, he's been gone for a really long time. Like,
did he go back to the room without you?
Yes. And he had no knowledge of it the next day. None. He absolutely did not know he did it.
Oh no.
He's like, how did I get it back to the room? I'm like, you motherfucker. I mean, I was pissed.
Like, you left me.
But once I got back to the room, finally, you know, when I realized he wasn't coming back.
Yes.
He was face down on the floor.
Oh shit.
He like completely just passed, shoes on, you know, hoodie on. Gone.
The one time I've seen Daryl that hammered, actually, he's done it twice. I only witnessed it once, but twice he was so hammered he doesn't remember.
Right.
It's always in the bathroom because he thinks he's going to make it and he's going to just be sick in there and whatever.
Right.
So the first time was he had gone fishing with his brother on the Berkeley Pier in the Bay Area. And they go you go at night and you get hammered and that's what you do. I was staying at his mom's house.
That sounds dangerous.
It was very dangerous. And I was staying at his mom's. We were staying at his mom's and dad's. And so I was sleeping. He rolled in at like 3 a.m. and he was so fucked up. Fucked up. And he goes, I need to take a shower. And I'm like, okay. He gets in the shower and he proceeds to piss and vomit and all the things. And I was like, gross.
You're like, ew.
That's what you get. I go, I guess
he was alcohol poisoned.
I go, I guess this means I have to drive us home later. He goes, oh yeah. I'm like, all right, fine. Anyway, the second time was with his brother again,
Brad.
We had gone out to
Bradley?
We had gone to Carmelita's for margaritas and food, and we just went crazy.
Oh, you were just having so much fun.
Shots and pitcher after pitcher after pitcher, God. And we had a blast. And then we went back to our house. Somebody came and got us. I think my son came and got us.
You live within walking distance, so
no, this was a long time ago.
Oh, before you lived. Okay.
Yeah. So I think I had Tyler come and get us, and so he drove us home. And so we had a white trash pool. We had an above ground white trash pool. The three of us got in it, and we were drinking more. And then suddenly,
you fools!
Suddenly, Daryl goes, "I'll be right back." We're like, "Okay." And so Brad and I were just talking, and we were just having a great time.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, "Where's Daryl?"
And I'm like, "Where's Daryl?" And he goes, "I don't know. It's been a while." I go, "It has been a while." So I get out. I don't even remember Brad leaving. He went home at some point. I don't even remember.
God.
But I get out. I go into the bathroom, and there is Daryl naked on the floor, snoring.
What is it about being naked when you're drunk?
By the toilet. Nude. And I was like, on? And I was like, oh my God. And so I just left him.
This is almost equally as I've never told anyone this story because it's so embarrassing.
What?
Jerry did the same thing except for he wasn't passed out. He just comes walking in the master bedroom and like late at night. I mean, I didn't realize he was that drunk. This is like the second time. He didn't leave me, but it was the second time where I'm like, who are you? Yeah. And he came in and he's naked and I'm like, I wake up and I look up. He's standing in the doorway and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, what do you mean? I go, why are you naked? And he's like, because I'm disgusting. Because I'm gross. I was like, oh my God. I mean, immediately I was like, oh my God, you're so fucked up. I literally think I just turned over. I'm like, oh my God, I can't. Like, I went back to
Oh my God.
the next day, he had no idea.
Oh my God.
But it was, to this day, I will never, thank God it was dark. All the lights were off and it was literally like 2 a.m.
That is so funny.
I don't think I've ever even reminded him that happened because if I'm him, that's literally the most humiliating thing that I've ever done in front of my wife.
God, the only thing, the most humiliating story was the one I told to Daryl last week when I told him about the foghorn incident when I was a child.
Wait, is it a toot?
Yeah.
Wah, wah. Okay, I'm pretty sure.
It echoed through the whole house at like 11 o'clock at night.
And that's why it's a joke. Yeah, I forgot about it.
And I'm like, they called me foghorn.
Foghorn.
Weeks.
Yes. It was funny as hell.
It was funny as hell. But I mean, I can't believe
I barely remember that, but I do remember the foghorn.
Oh my God. Because
my
my mom on the other side of the house, what the hell is that?
Oh my God. Go into the bathroom if you have to do that.
That would have been worse. It would have been worse.
Mom, we weren't allowed to do anything that wasn't in the bathroom. Oh my God.
Seriously. Okay, here's the second one. This one made me laugh. I was reading a book of poetry that someone bought me while I was at a cafe. I'm like, okay, bougie. And it's a dude. And the man next to me asked me what I thought of it. Well, I'm no critic. While I'm no critic, I do enjoy it and I try writing it. I told him that there were some excellent poems in it, but that it had a lot of filler, kind of like albums do. And I think it would be much better if the literary world would work on an iTunes model where you could simply buy individual stories instead of having to pay for the whole book and hate most of the work. He thanked me for my thoughts regarding the book, and so I figured he wouldn't be buying it. It wasn't until after he left that I closed the book and I saw his picture on the back of it.
Oh, fun.
Oops. That's an honest, I'm assuming this is at like a Barnes and Noble where you're sitting with your coffee and you're looking at books and somebody walks up and goes, oh, what do you think of the book? And it just happens to be the author.
So funny. That would happen to me.
Totally.
I'm like, I'm such an idiot.
Oh my God. Me. I try not to do that.
Me.
One time I was being interviewed and they said, I had worked for an eye insurance company and they were asking me some questions about it. They're like, oh, who do you talk to? And I'm like, I literally talk to everybody all over the country from Hawaii to New York, Maine, whatever, and everything in between. And I said, I've even in Ohio, at this time, I'm like, but we don't want to talk to anybody in Ohio because they have their own hub, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, okay. He goes, well, have you ever talked to anybody in Ohio? I have, in New York. And he goes, well, what do you think? I go, well, New Yorkers are kind of mean. They sound mean on the phone, but they're not really mean.
Yeah.
I go, Ohio, hardy folk, very straight to the point. Maybe they're warm, but only after they would get to know you, basically. Yeah. And they all started laughing. And then I got the job, but the woman that escorted me out, she goes, it's really funny that you said all that. I go, why? She goes, well, because that guy was from New York and those two guys were from Ohio.
Oh, lovely.
I went, oh, shit. Did I blow the interview? She goes, no, they found it charming. And I'm like, okay, thank God.
And it was charming, but you didn't say anything bad.
I did not.
But it's fun to be direct and honest and in a fun way. There's nothing wrong with that.
I've never blown an interview.
You know what? I haven't either.
Never.
I mean, there have been jobs that I've interviewed at that I didn't get.
Oh, for sure.
But it wasn't because of my interview.
No, it was always like, well, you just don't have enough education.
Well, now that I work for the county, it's like because there was 6,000 people who applied for this job, and we could literally pick like the best.
That's right.
So yeah, I mean, I don't take it personal when you don't get a job at the county because literally they have done 300 interviews before you.
No kidding. Are you doing anything for Memorial Day weekend with your
Well, that is in the plans. That is in the works.
Something fun?
Yeah, lately we've been
go to the beach.
We've been super into the Airbnb thing or the Vrbo.
It's so great. Verbos are great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really digging it. So, and I'm not
fun.
Sick of it yet.
No, it's great.
But my family is getting a little sick of it. They're like, we want to stay in the Four Seasons.
Oh, they want something fancy.
They want to bougie it up. Like
they want room service.
Yes. They're like, where's our suite?
So this weekend, Daryl and I will be, if you're listening to this over the weekend, we'll be at Bottle Rock in Napa.
Oh, so exciting. I knew you guys would go.
I can't wait to tell you about the weekend coming up in a month or whatever, because we are staying at a West End, which sounds really nice, but in Napa, there's some really bougie hotels.
Oh, yeah.
But they're all sold out because Bottle Rock
even
is...
the shitty hotels in Napa are nice.
Yes, but there's
They're
no...
Best Westerns, for Christ's sakes, that are gorgeous there.
No room service.
Right. I mean, there's a few concessions you have to make.
So we'll see, but I can't wait to give you the review. I'm sure it's fine.
Stoked.
Anyway, so that's what we're doing, and I will tell you all about it.
Well, I'd really love to go to Santa Cruz. That would be ideal for this weekend.
That'd be great.
So, but
book it quick.
Right. I was just about to say, but everybody and their freaking brother will want to be there too. And
maybe
when if it's not sold out, the rooms will be $600-$700 a night.
That's the cheapest hotel.
And that'll be a shitty hotel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And sometimes it's an adventure. Like I was telling Daryl, I go, the thing is like, I super love that we can go somewhere and you can pay enough money and you won't have any incident.
Absolutely.
I go, but there's something to be said about staying somewhere.
Being a little risque.
Being a little adventurous. You never know what you're going to get.
We got a hotel that had a hallway and it was like the doors were outside. I didn't know what to do.
Our doorway went to the parking lot.
Hey, I'm a sucker for a view though.
Same.
I'm telling you, I am a sucker for a view. And the last time I went to Santa Cruz, it was the interior of the room was newly redone, so everything was newish. Yeah. But the hotel itself was definitely not on par of what we usually stay. But the view was spectacular.
And
we were on the effing beach.
Those old hotels have the best beach. They have the best views.
I mean, I couldn't even stay at the Badass Hotel because they wasn't the same. But
honestly, that's the thing about beach towns is the older hotels who were there first. Yeah, it's worth it.
I just don't understand if they own these bazillion-dollar properties.
They don't have to do a thing.
Why
and pay for it anyway. Because they don't have to.
I hate you.
You're going to go into that orange hotel room.
I sure as fuck can.
And you're going to drink your Sanka and you're going to watch the view and you're going to like it.
God damn it, you're right. But it's just so annoying.
I know.
I'm so like, true. They're just raking in the dough.
That's why. They're like, fuck those people. They're staying. We're sold out.
We got a comforter from IKEA on the bed. And I'm like, well...
Fancy upgrades, everyone. Enjoy it.
True.
Anyway, all right. Well, that's the show. I hope everybody's having a lovely at least a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, 3
hopefully.
for you, 4 for me.
Yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you do something fun. Obviously, Memorial Day is when we honor our fallen.
Absolutely. Are you going to go see Grandpa?
I always do, so I will be going. I've decided now not to leave anything because they always take it. Because it's
like the same day?
Well, they wait. I think they'll wait till the weekend's over. But the VA is very meticulous about how they keep their cemetery,
and we're really grateful for that.
You know what? And he's got a beautiful area. It's a beautiful area, and it's really easy to find, and I love that. And we are he is next to some more recent casualties, so I always see on those days I tend to see the wives and the children, and so it's obviously devastating every time,
of course.
But it is something to. I always try to remember every time if I can, because I don't take that for granted.
I was watching Saving Private Ryan because it's on Netflix.
Oh my god, it gives me nightmares. But yeah,
it's so. Who made that movie? Is it Martin Scorsese?
No, it's Spielberg and Tom Hanks.
Okay. Well, no, obviously I knew it was Tom, but I couldn't remember who the director was.
Spielberg.
But yeah, it is. It's difficult to watch.
It's all of them are hard. I mean, I know Daryl will probably try to watch the HBO one. I can't remember. I can never remember the name of it.
Have you guys seen the Elvis movie yet?
Band of Brothers. The Elvis movie's out?
Well, I don't know. Lisa Marie Presley said something on social media today about literally. Well, okay, so she's going through it right now.
If it's out, I'm going to go see it.
Her son committed suicide. I don't know if you knew about it. So
yes, I did know that.
Okay, so she's even said in her post, she's like, look, I am just in the midst of grief. Like, I literally cannot even breathe, which we can all understand. Sure. And she said, but I had to say something about this movie because it is brilliant.
And, she went to the Met with the actor who plays Elvis.
She said.
And he looks, she
was like, not only does he look the part, but she's like, I have never seen an Elvis movie or anybody try to do an Elvis movie about my father who could do it. She's like, no one's pulled it off.
Kurt Russell was the closest, and it was 40 years ago.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
but she is fully endorsing the movie.
I can't
She
wait.
said it's absolutely a gorgeous flick. She's
Oh,
like,
I'm so
he should win a
excited.
freaking Oscar for
might.
it. She
He
goes,
might.
if he doesn't, she goes, I will.
I'm a sucker for Elvis anything.
Yeah. So she's like, she's all about it. And I'm like, well, that's a pretty big freaking endorsement.
That is a big endorsement. If she,
So
because
I've
most
got to see it.
family usually doesn't. So
Well, they're so used to somebody making something about their person,
Shitty.
and they're like, oh God, another one. Really, they didn't know shit about them. This is not how he was.
I can't wait. I would
really
I
excited.
want to see it. If it's a new perspective, I'm all in.
Yeah, I really don't know. I honestly,
find out.
I had heard the buzz about it, but the other thing that's worth mentioning is Maverick is getting ready to come out.
Daryl cannot
This weekend?
wait. He is like beside himself.
I feel the same way.
Me too.
I hate.
I'm ready. And I asked him, I said, do you think Kenny Rogers is doing the soundtrack?
I think he is. Not Kenny Rogers.
I mean, Kenny Loggins.
I know what you meant.
I mean, he's got to at least remake.
I think he posted something on.
He did?
Yes, he did. He was at the premiere.
So Kenny Loggins definitely did.
So I don't know. I'm hoping
maybe he rebooted the songs for the end,
But
the
you know what?
credits.
That guy is motherfucking brilliant.
I love Kenny
Who
Loggins.
gets rich like he does off of movie soundtracks?
So many too.
And we know all of his songs.
Iconic.
And we love them all.
Everyone.
Seriously, Caddyshack. I mean, you could go down the list.
Ding, ding, ding,
I know.
I'm
And it's not just
alright.
one song. It's like a bunch of them.
Sing, Bieber, sing. Yes.
God.
All of them.
Footloose.
Oh my
Hello.
God. Stephanie.
Okay, so there's so many things.
I
But
know.
yeah, so he was at the premiere. He did post something about the movie. I'm hoping that that's indicative that he's somehow in it musically.
Did Val Kilmer get a speaking role or is it just a photo?
I'm not sure because they did a side by side saying, that Val, according to this article that I read, begged them to bring his character back.
I heard it was Tom Cruise who begged.
It could have been.
I heard that Tom Cruise was like, he has to be in it.
It was some flicking of the. I was
he's,
looking. I don't know who insisted.
I believe that the Iceman is the biggest of the bigwigs in the Air Force in the movie.
I was going to say, is he critically ill? Because that's how he looks.
Well, he had throat cancer.
I know, but I'm saying, like, how are they going to put him in this movie and make it not like, oh my God, he's horrifying?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Is he going to be like, on his deathbed? Because that's really the only way I can think of them being able to get away with it.
Maybe he had injuries in a war.
He could be a burn victim.
Maybe that's what happened. It's like, well, he earned the right because
He crashed his plane and ditched it.
he
and
almost
was in a ball of fire,
and he almost died, and we pulled him
and this
out.
is what he looks like now.
He's a melted mess, but here he is.
Because he looks so bad.
Put him on a platter.
Oh my God. And
man.
that's the thing about aging, especially when you're an actor. Like, we all have these memories of what they look like when they were young.
Especially when you're doing another.
I mean, Jamie, have you seen Kelly? What's her name?
Kelly
McGillis.
Stephanie.
Jamie. She's unrecognizable.
She's really just decided to go another way. That's all I can say.
I think she's trying to go for the role of Jabba the Hutt.
Well, she sincerely was like, she does have fond memories of the Top Gun thing, but she's also like, but I was incredibly closeted and very gay, and it was
I didn't know that.
Yes, she's a super mega lesbian.
Okay, awesome.
And so that does not forgive the significant change in her appearance.
Right. Well, she said she's severely mentally ill. I had no idea.
No.
She's like, I've had really bad mental health problems.
So she's probably on antipsychotics, which makes you gain copious amounts of weight.
Yeah. Well, now, yes.
Yes,
and she said she was a raging alcoholic.
Oh my God.
During that time.
Well, that's probably why she's so thin.
And she hit bottom. And so, yes.
I wonder if the behind the scenes are like, we had to use twine and tape and all kinds of things to keep her together.
That movie is also on Netflix right now, so I have been watching it in my kitchen when I'm doing the dishes a ton.
It does not stand the test of time for me, but it is a childhood favorite.
They did say, no, I still love the movie. I can't help it. But they did say that when they cast her in the movie, that there were some who really felt that they needed to cast somebody more beautiful. Actually, Meg Ryan was being considered for the role.
She was too tiny and cute for that role.
But they were like, we didn't want someone that was so gorgeous because it wasn't as believable to us. We wanted someone that was beautiful, clearly, because Kelly McGillis is beautiful.
Honestly, when I saw it for the first time, I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, so
it was a perfect fit.
She literally, yeah. She's not. It's not like J-Lo or someone where they're so stunning you can't stop looking at them.
First of all, if you're in the military, they don't let you look stunning.
No,
I mean you might on your off duty, but during the day,
Kim Kardashian's. Oh, speaking of Sports Illustrated, did you see who's going to be on the cover? It's not just Kim K. It's others. Ciara.
No, I didn't.
Russell Wilson's wife.
I did not know that.
She's gorgeous. She's absolutely stunning.
Well, I know they're using like curvier bodies.
Yeah, they are. And then there's another chunky
Her name was like Yumi or something is her name. And I saw her and she's gorgeous.
She is gorgeous.
And I saw so much crap from so many fucking assholes going, who would fuck that? I'm like, you'd be surprised.
Oh, yeah. No.
I have heard some of the most famous men in the world say that they prefer curves and a little thick. People
just don't talk about it. I'm telling you, I think the fat girls in the clubs got fucked way more than the skinny ones did.
There are so many women that go, you would be surprised how many incredibly gorgeous Adonis men would rather fuck a fat girl.
100%.
The only problem is they lie about it and they hide it, and that's the bullshit.
And it's a shame.
That's the bullshit.
It is bullshit, but it's absolutely true.
I didn't get fucked a lot in clubs, but I wasn't also, first of all, I was told that I was the fat girl
Jamie,
forever.
No.
Looking back, no.
Never. You never were.
But I just never didn't. We grew up in a time when if you weren't a size 0 and starving, you weren't attractive.
I suppose. But we're finding out that that's really not true.
No, it was a lie.
It was all a lie. No one ever really thought that.
No. Yeah. First of all, a man has never rejected me.
Well, no.
I mean, first of all, I don't pursue, but when men did pursue me, they didn't suddenly go, they didn't see me and go, you know what? Too much ass.
No, here's the thing. I've never been rejected physically.
No,
I've had relationships where some douchebag was like,
oh, yeah.
But no.
Absolutely.
They're always willing to bone.
Never had a man critique me nude.
No, same.
Can you imagine?
No.
I'm like, actually, they did. They just don't exist anymore.
Oh, my God. They're dead. They are 6 feet under.
They died. Well, they didn't even die. They just were vaporized.
Right?
Anyway. All right. Well, that's the show. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next time.